Welcome to Walk Into a Bar, the show where three morons who happen to get professional degrees and happen to be brothers get together and chat about things. And we've
I
got
don't have
Ben
a
over
professional
here.
degree, by the way.
Oh, that's right.
When you interrupted him during the intro.
Tell you what.
It's all right. Okay,
Should we start
introduce
over?
us. No, keep it going. This is part of our life. This is us.
We are morons. Here we go.
Yes, you
it
are.
is.
Well, hey, speak for yourself.
Amen.
People texting me in the middle of this, making my phone go buzz. So anyway, we've got Ben, who is a preacher. We've got Matt, who is an engineer, and then I'm the oldest brother, and I'm a lawyer. Not a liar like my brothers would have you believe. I'm a lawyer.
That's a lie, 100%.
Hey, I only call you a liar to your face.
Okay.
I'm looking right at you right now.
We're going to go with that. We're going to go with that. So anyway, welcome to episode 3 of Walk Into a Bar. We hope you've all had a great week. I think we've had a pretty decent week, generally speaking, between the three of us. And so we want to get right into it and share some things with you. The first thing we're going to do is our typical entertainment sector. And today we're going to talk about something that is mightily important. Which is better, Marvel or DC? Ben, go ahead.
You know, honestly, I don't think you're going to find much of a difference between the three of us. I will fight for DC on certain movies. I think they have the best, as of right now, they have the best female superhero movie with Wonder Woman. Outside of that, I think Batman, Christian Slater, the 3 movies he did were phenomenal.
I'm sorry, Batman who?
Not Christian Slater. What am I thinking? Christian Bale.
Christian. Okay, there we go.
My bad.
It's
been a very long day.
Christian Slater as Batman is an entertaining prospect, though.
Yes. Hey, I might actually watch more of that. But Christian Bale has been the best male superhero that DC has ever taken or had. Outside of that, I am 100% an American, Captain America and Thor fan, along with the Avengers. Any day they beat DC. That's my take.
Sounds like a good take to me. Hey, Matt, how about you?
So, hands down, Marvel better than DC, except for Aquaman and for Wonder Woman. Definitely 2 great movies and done appropriately and definitely in line with the comics. I haven't seen all of the Marvel movies, admittedly. I haven't seen the
Excommunicate from family.
I've seen all of the I've seen all of the Avengers, all of the Thors, all of the Iron Man. There was one that came out before Endgame, and I forget what it is.
Ragnarok?
Captain Marvel.
I haven't seen that one.
On Disney Plus.
It's a good one.
And I haven't seen all of the Hulk movies, and I haven't seen all of the Spider-Man movies.
Okay, you only need to see one of the Hulk movies, and that because as I recall, there's only one that's really in the Marvel universe. And then the Spider-Man movies, again, just the Marvel universe ones. The other ones are not worth watching, in my opinion.
You mean like the Homecoming? Like that one? Spider-Man
I can't
Homecoming?
remember the names of them even. They were so not worth watching.
No, that's the new one that just came out not too long.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
The ones with what's his face?
Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, I always picture him as a jockey, a horse jockey.
Tobey Maguire. No.
Yeah.
Is it Tom Holland? Is that the new one?
I think so.
I think that's the name of the actor. He does a pretty good job portraying the young Peter Parker thing. I think. I'm not sure how I feel about Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. That doesn't sit right with me. I got to tell you, it doesn't sit right with me. Matt's getting that look on his face like Marissa Tomei. Yeah, Marissa Tomei as Aunt May.
I have no idea who Marissa Tomei. Like you say the name, and I'm not seeing an image of someone's face. So
okay, have you ever seen My Cousin Vinny?
Once.
I didn't know we had a cousin named Vinny.
She was the girlfriend of the lawyer character, who's I can't remember the actor's name now. She was the car expert in the courtroom in My Cousin Vinny. Which, by the way, folks, if you haven't seen My Cousin Vinny, go watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
What's the name?
Mike has her name, Marissa Tomei.
Okay, I must not be spelling that correctly at all.
Marissa, Marissa. Tomei, I think, is Tomei.
Did you know that Michael Keaton is in Homecoming? Marvel.
Yeah, he was. What was he? Yeah, he was in there.
Yep.
Well, folks, while my brother looks up Marissa Tomei and my other brother decides to look at Spider-Man, I'm going to tell you that I agree with them. Marvel is far better than DC. I do like Wonder Woman. I think that could be a really good franchise for them, but I did feel it was a little bit weaker than some of the Marvel movies, generally speaking. Aquaman kind of gave me the same feel. It could be good, but it was still just generally a little weaker. I have friends who really love the Aquaman movie, but they're all female.
Hey. To give Aquaman a little bit of credence in our circle, the actor for the Aquaman, Jason Momoa, is he's Iowa raised. I almost said born and raised, but I think he was born in Hawaii.
That sounds right. But that doesn't really do much when we're talking about the quality of the movie. I think Marvel movies are put together better. I think their storylines are much better, more believable. They flow better. The DC movies just don't have it in those respects. And I think that shows by the franchise and the level of sequels and things like that they've been able to put out. They do better.
So if we're really going based off of
Aquaman had poor acting. I'm just going to say it.
Well, okay. I think that's generally across the board with DC movies.
Yeah,
the
generally.
Is not quite as good.
Yeah. If we're rating these on the quality of the cinematic experience,
Iron Man wins.
All of this.
They're movies. That's what we do.
Then comic book based movies. Last thing that I would go for Schindler's List.
Well, yeah.
Mel Gibson movies. I mean,
those are outside of the universe that we chose to look at for this particular episode, and so therefore we deal with Marvel versus DC. And if you don't like it, Matt, too darn bad.
Get a new podcast with two other brothers that you don't have.
Right.
So we'll accept you back anytime. Sorry, I've been kind of. My job takes precedence over the.
Seems like you and I are having the same problem tonight, Ben.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. But anything else we want to talk about with Marvel and DC?
Marvel won. That's simple.
Yeah. And it sounds like a pretty resounding victory in this particular family. Marvel wins.
Yep.
All right. Yep. So with that horse beat to death again, let's move on to another subject that is near and dear to our hearts as Carlson men, and that is automobiles.
Dang it.
Mopar is strong in this family. We love our Chrysler products, although I must admit at this stage I don't own a single Mopar. And that hurts my soul just a little bit. But we're going to talk about cars that we've owned and that we own currently today. And so I started out with Ben last time. So, Matt, I'm going to start out with you. Matt, tell us about the cars that you own or have owned. Give us the nitty-gritty.
Okay, well, let's see here. First car that I owned was a Grand Am, and that was
poor decision.
Ownership from mom and dad. They bought the car, and then I acquired it because, I don't know, and they assumed that I was going to take care of it, and I tried to. Blew the engine in it once, and Dad accused me of doing something wrong, but then was told by
a reasonable assumption, really.
A reasonable assumption, admittedly, but then the tow truck guy was like, "No, these things like to blow a lot." And then I hit a deer with it.
Guy.
Yeah. And then I hit a deer with it, and that upset Ben about it. That was not to be the last.
That's not what upset me about it. What upset me about it is the interstate incident.
Oh, burn. Burn.
You don't remember
It was a
getting in
dark
an accident?
and foggy night.
Yeah.
Matt.
Thank you.
It was a dark and foggy night, and you hit somebody in the fog with the Grand Am.
No, I did not hit anyone with the Grand Am.
I don't know how Phil and I remember this, and you don't.
I hit someone in a snowstorm with the minivan.
No, it wasn't the minivan. It was definitely the Grand Am. Because my senior year, I had the Grand Am, and Mom and Dad gave it to you, and I got the minivan.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that, and just calling Mom and Dad.
Which minivan did you get?
I got Ed's.
The white one.
Ed's old one.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I forgot we had that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that was.
All right. So that was your first car.
Vehicle.
It was a gigantic turd in the end, as are all Grand Ams.
No,
it was put together well, but it was.
It lasted a long time.
It lasted through me.
In fact, I remember, Matt, we took that to Des Moines after September 11th when we went down for Grandma's funeral, didn't we? I remember riding in the Grand Am down there. I can't remember whether Matt or Ben was driving. I think it was you, Matt.
It was you and Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that could be.
There's a lot of fuzziness missing from around those years in your head, isn't there, Matt?
There was a lot going on in my life.
There was a lot going on.
And a lot of commitments going on.
You were still in high school when that happened, when you and
9/11? No,
he was in college.
Oh.
He was in college.
No, I was at SDSU, and I was actually going in between classes and stopped at the military science building there on campus because I was in ROTC at the time, and sat in the lounge for the Army ROTC cadets and watched 9/11 happen. And we are completely off topic now, so I'm going to jump back on cars.
So, move to the next one.
The Grand Am, I had that until 2012, 2013, when I smoked a deer with it. Like I said, it wasn't going to be the last deer. And totaled the car. Drove that from Minnesota, where I was working, back to South Dakota. And then that weekend, bought a 2013 Dodge Dart. In between all that, we've owned a minivan, a 97 Grand Caravan.
I think that's right.
We drove that for another 100,000 miles or so. And then we switched over to a 2007 Chrysler Pacifica, which we are still driving, but we're looking to get rid of it because the thing is a Minnesota rust bucket. And down here in the desert, no one will work on a Minnesota rust bucket. So
I get that.
Nice. Way to go. You haven't owned very many cars.
No, I try to take care of them. I really do. Even though, contrary to a bad start on the Grand Am, I do try to take care of my cars.
Yeah.
The Grand Am was a salvage title vehicle that Mom had bought from some family friends who rebuilt it, and really they did pretty good job rebuilding it. But unfortunately, the Grand Am just had some flaws.
Yeah.
If you watch The Wizard, I don't know. Do you guys watch The Wizard on YouTube?
No.
Car Wizard.
I can't stand to watch the Car Wizard.
The Car Wizard is the Bob Ross of mechanics. He does a show every now and then that's called "Buy This, Not This," and in GM dead brands, the one he said not to buy was that generation of Pontiac Grand Am.
Yeah,
so, well, I mean, you have to think after the rebuild. Think about this: Mom drove that countless miles, but she also hydroplaned on that.
She did. Put it in the ditch once or twice.
Yep, had to get it repaired. Matt, you hit a deer with it. You did some other things with it. The reality of it is that multiple times the sheriff's deputies over in Hawken County that knew me would be like, "Hey, I saw you driving. There's your warning."
All right, so Ben, good segue into your cars. Let's talk about your cars.
Well, I went off to college and I got a white Grand Caravan. I drove that.
That was our Uncle Ed's, right?
Yeah. I think we ended that. I think we got rid of it, and we're pretty sure the odometer was off. We're pretty sure it was over 350,000 miles by the time we got rid of that. Amazing van. I'd probably still have it if the church that I was volunteering for said, "No, we want your son to come back from a trip." And instead, we traded it off, and I got a purple 2001, best car I've had yet, Honda Civic. That lasted me a year, I think, just a little over a year. And then I was rear-ended. I was at a dead stop on a highway. I was rear-ended, pushed into oncoming traffic, and T-boned. Cops are like, how did you get way over here again? Other cops said, you should be in that ditch dead. So that's that car's life. And then I got an Acura TL, a 2000.
It was an 02, right?
Nope, it was a 2000 Acura TL. I didn't know it at the time, but it had transmission issues. I blew the transmission once, almost twice. But they told us, hey, transmission had just been replaced. 60,000 miles later, that transmission went out. But I had that for over 200,000 miles, and then I got rid of it. And I got a 2003 two-door Honda Accord, black, with sunburn on it.
It was bad.
That lasted me another 150,000 miles, and then I drove a lot. And then I got a Honda Accord four-door, which we still have, and that's pushing 150,000. Engine blew on that because of a faulty part from Advanced Auto, and then that's from
an auto parts store.
From an auto parts store, yes, they took care of the purchase of the new engine. By the way, used new engine, but got that replaced. That's one of my babies. I let my wife drive that because she doesn't have a car, and then. Isn't that
is her car?
Nope.
Yeah. Sorry, Lola. I'm taking your side, Lola. Don't hurt me. Hurt him.
My car. But a year ago, a couple weeks ago, I bought a green Dodge Dakota 2001. I've had nothing but issues with it. But I've been able to fix everything except for the ones that I've kind of neglected so far. For instance, leaky water pump, which I'm going to go fix as soon as this COVID-19 thing is done. And then I need to find the blocked AC valve. I'm pretty positive it's a blocked AC valve now, and clear that out. But other than that, it's a champ. It has 90,000 miles on it. I've put 10,000 miles on it in a year, which is awesome. I think that's great to keep it forever. And I love that thing because it's a workhorse. It drove with a leaky water pump to Kansas City and back, and I'd had no issues, didn't have to fill it up or anything. Plus I have to replace like a PCV valve.
Positive crankcase ventilation.
Which is like $10 maybe, if that. So, but my vehicles have been awesome. I've driven the death out of them, except for the truck, and truck's just old, but it's solid. So I replaced all the speakers in it too.
It's a nice truck. It's a really nice truck, and it kind of surprises me that you have that many issues with it. I looked at it before you bought it, and it looked really solid. All the suspension components look great, and everything else. It's just I think you're right. I think it's just old, and rubber seals tend to leak after a while. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, there's a small transmission leak too.
Nice and rust free. So
yeah. I think there's more rust on it now because I live in
Illinois. It's like Illinois just rubs off on it.
And it just came into the state and it got new rust. So
yeah, it's like automatically happens.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So those are my vehicles.
My turn now, I guess.
Good luck. Let's count them.
I'm going to start with the car that neither of my brothers mentioned, but that we all learned to drive.
Oh, the White Stallion.
The White Stallion. The you ready for this? 1981 Plymouth Reliant.
I killed that thing. You're welcome.
Four-door. It was a 2.2-liter Chrysler motor, which was a rock star of an engine. And it had a 4-speed, had a manual transmission. And so it was a little bit of a rare beast in that sense because most of them were automatics. And everybody I talked to who drove the automatics said, they were just dogs. They were horrible. And to be fair, our manual transmission one wasn't some superstar performer, but because it had the manual transmission, you get more out of it than you could ever get out of an automatic. And I won't say how I know that, and I won't talk about the number of times that I ended up sideways on the road, and we won't talk about the occasion where I blew the camshaft out of it.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
You got sideways in that car too? I mean, you put that car sideways?
nearly hit a golden eagle.
Glad you didn't.
Jordan, I think our friend Jordan was in the car, or it was our friend Ben. I can't remember which, but we were heading down that road that Ben lived on, Bad River Road, and towards the highway. And there's this massive golden eagle standing right in the middle of the road, and just stood there and stared at me. And so I slammed on the brakes and ended up sideways. About that much gravel piled up on the side of the wheels. Kind of surprised I didn't roll it.
So I have a similar story. I have a similar story. Same car, same road, going the other direction from Jordan's.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And we were headed to Pier and going. We just crested a hill. And we were going 55, 60. It wasn't
normal speed for that road.
Seriously, that is a standard speed for that road.
Yeah.
In that car,
was that a standard?
The
for everybody who drove
speed
it.
limit on that road was 55.
I don't think that was the posted speed limit.
It is the posted speed limit.
That is the posted speed limit on the road. Yep.
Oh my goodness!
So I come up over this hill, and going down, nothing feels out of place, nothing's wrong, and I hit a bump.
Uh-oh.
And the back end just started doing this number. And I kept it going. We get to the bottom, and all of a sudden the car just turned sideways. So facing to what was the passenger side. Mm-hmm. And we come to a complete stop right over a culvert.
Oh, no.
And
I know that hill.
The car starts edging forward. And so I'm sitting there. I slammed the brakes on, and I'm just sitting there. The car's still running. Didn't kill it. But I'm sideways. And
nice.
I'm all the way across the road at a culvert. So it's the narrowest part of the road. Yep. And there's no room to turn that car around. And, Jordan and I had some fun, and we swore to never talk about it again until someone decided to share their story of getting that car sideways.
I didn't have that car long enough to do any of that.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
I was driving it back from school, going less than 20, and the transmission blew, and that was when we were like, done.
Yeah. And that's too bad because that transmission held up to a lot.
That's the rebuild that Dad rebuilt.
That's right. He did end up putting a rebuild in it, and I can't remember. I don't think I killed the transmission the first. I killed a clutch. I know I killed a clutch.
Yeah, I remember that story because you parked it at your job at the time.
Yeah. We Mom was with me, and we were coming back from Rapid City. Killed the clutch. Killed the camshaft. I won't talk about that story anymore. But anyway, that car taught all three of us how to drive, and it went to another family in town, and I don't know what happened from it there, but that was my first car. My second car was also a 1981 Mopar product. It was a 1981 Chrysler New Yorker. Let me tell you, this was a very elegant car.
It had an 8-track player.
It had an 8-track player originally. It was in beautiful shape. It had the 318 lean burn. I got like 20 miles to the gallon with that thing. It was this beautiful shade of mahogany brown, and the interior was the same color brown, tufted velour everywhere.
You could drive that into a lake and it would float too, right?
Yes. Yeah, you could drive that into a lake and cross the lake because it was such a boat. I started
it was definitely
dating
colored the same way as the appropriate floater mentality.
It was.
You're right. I started dating my wife in that car. She hates to this day that car because it was the prototypical old lady's car.
Oh, it was such a great car.
But it was a great car. Matt, I remember chauffeuring you to prom in that car.
I drove that to Des Moines.
Yeah, you did. And if I hadn't been rear-ended in Aberdeen by a kid who wasn't paying attention, I'd still have that car. Mm-hmm. I converted the air conditioning to 134. I put a big, nice CD player in it. I didn't put a big system, just a nice CD player in it. Man, it was comfy. It went down the road like nothing. Mm-hmm. Just the prototypical old American luxury car had everything you needed and nothing you didn't. So the kid rear-ended me, and it snapped the bumper in half and bent the unit body so like this, and you'd look at the roof above the B pillar, and there was wrinkles on each side of the roof.
10 minutes.
Completely totaled. Oh, man. Okay. I got to go quick then.
Yeah.
Next car, 78 Dodge Magnum. Piece of crap. Rusty, everything, but it looked great. 360 in it, automatic transmission. Also went down the road like a dream, but it was a Rust-O-Matic. It was not a very good car.
You just said the Magnum?
Yeah, that was the Magnum. Pale
There's a
yellow.
story with
it was. There's probably a few stories with that, but not the good ones. Oh, you drove that for the. Oh,
I didn't.
Oh, the ticket. Oh no.
We'll share it another time. We'll talk tickets another time.
Another time. I then moved on and started selling cars, and while I was selling cars, I fell in love with the wrong brand and bought my first BMW. A 1998 BMW 540i with a 6-speed sport package and premium package. Man, it was a great car. Great car. I owned it for only 9 months, so I didn't get to find out how awful BMWs are while I owned that. I took trips to Colorado a lot in that. Gene and I did. My parents lived in Colorado at the time. Ben lived in Colorado at the time. It was a great road trip car.
I didn't live in Colorado at that time.
No? Oh, no, you didn't. That's right. Mom and Dad did, though.
Mm-hmm.
Ate up miles like you wouldn't believe. And that 6-speed was just, it was such a performance beast. Low horsepower numbers for what we consider now, but it was rated at a 5.4 second 0 to 60, one of the fastest 0 to 60 times for 98. About that time, I decided I was going to go to law school. That payment was unsustainable during law school, so I waved a magic wand and turned it into a 1990. Oh, what was that? A 90? No, I think it was a 99 Honda Civic, black 4-door automatic. I thought great gas mileage. I never got more than like 28 miles a gallon with that car. It was just, I was not happy with it, but it lasted a long time. I all the way through law school and a couple years past. It did the trick. It was reliable transportation. I had some problems with it, but nothing major, and it did okay. And then when we were living in Mitchell, South Dakota, it got sideswiped by a teenager on an icy road who totaled it out and turned that into a 2000 Honda Accord. And this was another one of those that I wish I hadn't let this one go. It was a gray Honda Accord 4-cylinder, but it was an EXL. So it was loaded up, had leather, sunroof, and it also was a manual transmission. And I'd done some work to it. It had a timing belt. That was the first timing belt that I had done on my own. I replaced the shifter boot with some real leather instead of the pleather that it came from the factory with. Really, really enjoyed working on that car. It had some issues, though. That was one of the first cars where I really dug into the issues that the car had and tried to fix them all and get it to 100% working condition. And I kind of hated it at the time. Looking back on it, I wish I'd kept it. But then I found kryptonite again. Found my 1998 BMW M3 and bought that. And the thought was that I was going to buy it, fix a few things, and flip it. But unfortunately, a hailstorm happened, and it got damaged. I got stuck with it. I still have that car. I've had that car for 7 or 8 years now, which I think is the longest I've ever owned a car. And right now it's down with a clutch out of it. The clutch has been out since July. Mm-hmm. Because I thought I had it fixed, and then I didn't, and I got disheartened with it, and it sat for a while. But that's something that I want to get fixed during the COVID crisis, and then I need to sell it and get it moving on. It's a great little car, but BMWs always have problems. Constantly fixing something, constantly broken down for some reason or other, and I'm just sick of it. So I'm going to move it on to somebody who maybe wants it a little more than me. A few years ago, bought a little 1991 Ford Ranger. Got that manual transmission, 4-cylinder, 4-wheel drive. But now we're into Land Cruisers. My wife has had some sedans and some minivans, an Intrepid, a couple of town and countries. But now we've got 99 Lexus LX 470, which is a Toyota Land Cruiser, and it's just a beast of a vehicle. It'll go anywhere, do anything you want, and we really love it. It's not cheap to repair, but it's got 200,000 miles on it, and the motor and transmission are going to go forever. So we're pretty happy with that. Those are kind of my cars in rundown. I have some other ones, but we only have 5 minutes left, according to Ben. So we're going to skip cars, and we're going to move on to
450 now.
450. Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to move on to food and drink, and I get to start this one. Today, we're showcasing our favorite waters. You may have noticed me drinking out of this big half-gallon jug. This is a half-gallon jug of pure water, but not straight pure water because I don't drink straight pure water. I'm pretty sure straight pure water will give you some disease. So this is reverse osmosis pure water, and it is fantastic. You see I've drank half of it already. I'm going to have to pee really bad when we're done. But it is really good. Pure water through an RO machine. I think any water through a reverse osmosis machine is really good. Tastes like nothing, and I love it. Ben?
Yeah, I was really hoping to have a zero water filtration system before we did water, but I ordered that 3 weeks ago, and they're telling me not till May. Not too happy with zero water, so I can't even tell you how good they are. This is my normal drink right now, Kirkland. If you don't have a Costco, you cannot get Kirkland. But I'm also, I've been drinking a sparkling water by Vi, which is the brand Pure Aqua, which is the brand that you can get at Aldi. If you have an Aldi around, it's cheap, but it's really good. But other than that, I normally, my straight water is Kirkland brand or Walmart drinking water. I will not drink lake and water without some kind of filtration because I'm pretty sure it will literally kill you on the spot.
So it's like pure water.
I hear it's worse.
Ouch.
So I would drink Midland water straight from the tap before I drink lake and water.
You know, Midland water had to be filtered for so many things at the source. It was pretty healthy by the time it finally came to you. Matt, what do you got?
So I've been drinking 3 types of water today. First water was essentially the local tap water, which is the Southwest Arizona something or other project. It's, I think, Colorado River water that they just pipe down from the Colorado River. After I finished that, I had, let's see here. Let's see if I can do this. Get a little bit of shade so that they can actually see it. Drinking some Liquid Death. It's just some alpine water. Nice. So imported.
Nice.
And then I'm drinking at least an imported brand, Perrier. So
that's the fancy one.
Oh yeah,
Matt is the fancy one.
You put that finger, that pinky up when you drink.
I will.
Kids, you'll notice the engineer is drinking the French water,
not the
lawyer or the preacher.
That's right.
All right, well, everybody, we got to wrap up. We got a special drink next week, and we were hoping to have it this week, but mine didn't come in, so we'll have a special drink next week. Looking forward to that. We love you guys. We're glad you're coming to join us. Ben seems to think that he should say something now.
If you want a sneak peek, check out my Facebook.
If you want a sneak peek, check out his Facebook. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week. Have a great time, and remember to take care of yourself.